Let's talk about psychology, neuroplasticity, and programming the subconscious mind. But first, I love to ground this in a tiny little story. The other day, I was driving to my dodgeball game, and I had this idea for this post. It was all about these unhinged beliefs that I carry as a ex-corporate spiritual girly doing my PhD, blah, blah, blah. As I was driving, I was like, oh, wow, I do have, these interesting unhinged beliefs. Then on the way home, I thought of more. And here's where something really interesting happened. At night, all I could think about was these additional unhinged thoughts I had. I woke up in the morning thinking about more unhinged beliefs and thoughts that I have. While I'm reading my book, my brain is telling me additional unhinged thoughts I have. Okay, we get it, Steph, you have a lot of unhinged thoughts. That's actually not the point. The point is that I gave my brain a directive. I said, oh, I'd like to know more about this. And then my subconscious mind went to work while I wasn't even thinking about it and continued to serve up examples over and over and over again, even throughout reading a book and having breakfast the next day. And this is very, very important because this is how our subconscious brain works. Give it a directive and then it starts toiling away in the background and thinks of all of these examples to satisfy that directive. Especially if we give it reinforcement and emotional reaction to those thoughts. It says, oh, we like this. We want more of this. Even if that emotion is a quote unquote negative one, like fear or stress or shame or grief. Why is this super important right now? Let's talk about it. Because you have roughly 80,000 conscious thoughts every single day. And some of them probably aren't super positive. Examples of how you did something really stupid when you were in 3rd grade, how you should be ashamed of the way you talk to your boss or your partner, or all of the various reasons to be afraid of the fucking world right now. The list goes on. Noticing this pattern is really, really important for our mental health, especially when our attention span is not so great these days. If we're not aware of what we're telling our subconscious mind to look for, we're also not aware of the reasons why we keep getting fed these ideas and these thoughts, and we end up in these mind loops and these cycles. And y'all, these cycles can be really, really, really bad for us. Ever woken up thinking, why am I obsessing over this weird thing that I did 12 years ago? Or why can't I just seem to get it out of my head that things are really scary and really stressful right now? Literally any pattern can apply here, and most of us are using this to reinforce these stories that we suck, the people around us suck, and the world right now sucks. Because things are hard and we all have things to improve on doesn't mean we need to live in that shit pile mentally every single second of every fucking day. Good news is we can also use this to ask our brain to look for some good in the world, or even some good inside of yourself. Next time you find yourself ruminating or having these intrusive thoughts, maybe try asking yourself, well, what about the positive? Where do I see evidence of magic every single day? Where can I find more evidence of my own power? Where can I step into love? How am I operating in integrity? What's an example of me being an awesome human? These little tricks are not to discount that things are crazy right now. It is to remind you that if you are busy looping about your own self-shame and self-sabotage, you are not able to change the world. So if you want to make a difference, you need to have your head in the right direction. This is a great trick to do that. Go out there and reprogram your minds. And remember, your pleasure is your power. Mwah.